Hello, welcome to this playful practice. We'll begin today lying on your back, however feels comfortable for you. You can put your legs up on a chair, you can have your knees bent. Just make sure that you feel at ease. And we'll begin our practice with connecting with the breath. And you allow your tongue to rest at the top of your mouth, gently closing the mouth and allowing the breath to enter and leave your body through the nose. Notice if there's any forcing involved in your breath. Can you imagine creating space within yourself to receive the breath? The inhalations creating movement in the chest, the stomach, the sides, the back. A 360-degree movement in all directions as you inhale, and a gentle releasing as you exhale, allowing the exhalations to be longer than your inhalations. If you've taken any of the past practices with me, we've approached the idea of a meditation and movement. Meditation being becoming closer to ourselves. So today's practice is about maybe thinking outside of the box in the movements that we use when we practice our yoga asana. There's a trainer called Clayton Weekly, and he said that if you want to build resiliency, you've got to play around with the active components of movements and poses, getting strong in various positions, because we get injured in the positions that we don't use or that we don't train. So we're going to try to keep a playful approach to our practice today. I was tired at the end of this, so please be gentle with yourself, patient, revisit some of the movements later on, and just be curious about your body and the movements that we introduce. We continue to keep our attention on the sensation of the breath. And as we move through the practice, trying to continue to breathe through your nose as best you can, allowing your movement to follow the rhythm of your breath. And the next time that you inhale, we'll begin to extend the arms up And then behind you, stretching to the sides. And the next time that you exhale, we'll guide the hands to the heart. A reminder to be gentle with ourselves in our practice, in this practice of inner listening. We'll continue with pelvic tilts. So we're going to keep the feet flat on the ground, the knees bent. And as you inhale, can you create space underneath your lower back? Exhaling, gently curling the tailbone up towards the ceiling so there's no longer space underneath your back. So repeat that 2 more times. Inhale, anterior pelvic tilt. Exhale, curling your tailbone upwards towards the knees, posterior pelvic tilt. Follow your breath, 1 more cycle. At the end of the cycle, we're going to pause and we'll continue warming up the core. So when I engage my transverse abdominals, I like to imagine engaging the core from your belly button, wrapping all around to the spine. We're going to try not to let anything move in your hips and your torso in this movement. Begin by bending your knees at 90 degrees and the arms extend straight up. Keeping your right knee bent, can you take your toes and tap the ground and then bring your knee back to the original position? Nothing else moves. When you do the movement of the leg, everything stays stable. Think of moving your leg from the center, from the core of your body. Keeping everything stable, take your left toes, tap the ground, engage your abdominal muscles to bring your knee back to 90 degrees. Everything stays still in the rest of your body. Now the right arm. Extend your right arm back by your ear. Imagine you're moving the arm from the core. As you exhale, pull the arm back to the original position, like it's the core that is bringing it back. Left arm, inhale, extend it back. As you exhale, take the left arm to point up again. Okay, now right leg, left arm. Extend your right leg, tap with your toes, extend your left arm. Nothing else moves. As you exhale, the core pulls both back to center. Left leg, right arm. Extend, tap. Exhale, core pulls it back to center. Make sure your lower back is not moving when you do this movement. Right leg, left arm. Exhale, back to center. Relax the neck. Left leg, right arm. Use the core to pull leg and arm back to center. Again, right leg, left arm. The farther the leg goes, the harder it is. Back to center as you exhale. Left leg, right arm. Use your core, come back to center. Right leg, left arm, almost done. Core stays active, hips stay stable, back to center. Left leg, right arm. Exhale, back to center. Relax. Any movements that feel nice for you, moving your legs about. And we'll get ready to extend your legs and arms up again. As you inhale, point your toes and your fingers back, so towards your face, and then point your toes and your fingers forward. Just stretching. Toes to the face, toes point up, and the hands follow. 2 more. Toes point to the face, toes point up. Toes and fingers to the face, toes and fingers in the other direction. Again, moving as much as you can through both ranges of motion. 1 more time. And now circle. Circle your ankles and circle your wrists, but don't move your knees. 4 circles. Try to keep your arms straight. Try not to move your elbows. Once you've done 4, switch directions. Make the movement slow and controlled. I find ankle circles to be hard. I always get cramps in my legs. Not alone if you feel that. After you've done 4 in each direction, shake. Shake everything. Shake your legs, shake your arms, and shake as fast as you can. And now shake even faster. And as fast as you can possibly move. And then relax everything. And once you relax, just feeling the body, coming back to the breath. And we're going to bring your thighs in towards your chest and extend your arms forward in a little fetus position. Round your back as much as you can and start rocking forward and back. Don't move your knees. And now start to rock over to the right and make a full circle. So we're rocking and we're just trying to create a 360-degree circle until you're facing the front of your mat again. The entire time, focus on using your core to keep your knees and legs in place. Once you come back to face forward, switch directions and roll in the opposite direction. So keep your belly in towards your spine. Keep the core engaged and maintain this rounded position. Once you come to the front of your mat, roll all the way forward until you come to seated. Great. And we're going to extend your legs a comfortable distance. And we'll try to keep the muscles of your legs active and the knees pointing up. Option number 1 is to bring your hands in front of you to give a little bit of support. Option number 2, do this movement without using your hands, in which case you would hinge forward at your hips and reach your arms forward as you hinge. Inhale as you come back up, exhaling as you hinge from the hips. So find your rhythm with your breath, and we'll do this a few more times. At the end of the cycle, release your hands down, and we're going to cross your ankles. And just take a few moments if you want to stretch your legs. Any movements that feel nice. And we'll get ready to come onto your knees. So just take the last few moments. And when you come onto your knees, we'll try to tuck the toes, even the little pinky toe. That one often gets forgotten. Option number 1 is you keep your hands on the ground and you lean back to stretch your toes. Keeping your hands on the ground, switch to have your feet flat. That's a little bit more gentle. If you feel okay, you can try to do this same movement without the support of your hands, sitting on your heels, stretching your toes, maybe moving side to side, and then switching to sit on your heels with your feet flat. So try to keep the breath calm, relax the face, relax the neck, and continue to alternate between tucking your toes and having your feet flat. I'm adding an extra stretch here, which is quite intense if you're not used to it, so please don't feel like you need to try that. Stretching the back of your feet. And we'll do another set. Onto your toes. And then feet flat. And we'll continue with a variation of cat-cow, focusing on the upper spine and on continuing to warm up the feet. So sitting on your heels, tucking your toes, we'll have your hands in front of you and extend the chest. Feel the shoulder blades pressing against your back. And as you exhale, we're going to round your back. Take your heels as low as they can go, along with your hips. And we'll continue to cycle through those two movements. As you inhale, the knees go down, tuck the toes, and extend the spine. Shoulder blades against the back. As you exhale, round the back, take the heels down, and reach the hips to the ground. Inhale, extension, like the hands are pulling towards you. Exhale, flexion. One more. And at the end of the cycle, we're going to go through a vinyasa, a movement with the breath. We're going to start up onto your knees, tucking your toes, focusing on engaging your butt muscles to extend the hips. Please feel free to use your hands. Taking your hands down to the ground, use as little weight as possible to come back onto your heels. And from here, come up into a chair pose. From chair pose, can you control slowly the way down? Use your hands if you need to. Tucking your toes, come onto the heels. Lifting the hips, feet flat. So we take the hips down, come up, tuck the toes. From here, lift the hips, transition to chair pose with as much control as possible. From your chair, the knees go back down, controlling the descent. Hips up, flat feet. Hips up, tuck the toes. Use the butt to extend the hips, and now we go back to chair pose. And again, knees down with control. Hips up, feet flat. Tuck the toes. Hips up. Chair pose. And again, find a rhythm with your breath. Take as much time as you need. I was a bit too vigorous with that one. And come all the way up at the end of the cycle, reaching the arms to the ceiling. As you exhale, fold forward, relax the legs, relax everything. From here, we're going to walk forward into a downward dog. From your downward dog, feel the connection of your fingertips, of your knuckles. Breath through the nose, tongue at the top of the mouth. As you inhale, we'll come forward into a plank pose. And as you exhale, we'll lower slowly to the ground. Once you're on your stomach, can you engage your legs, the core, and can you squeeze the shoulder blades together, lifting your elbows and the palms? Notice if your shoulders go up by your ears. Can you keep the shoulders reaching away from the ears? Try to keep the back of the neck long. And as you exhale, we'll release, placing your hands wide, palms flat or fingertips. We'll slowly roll up into a cobra. In this cobra, can you focus on pressing the shoulder blades against your upper back, keeping the neck relaxed? Breathing into the sides. As you exhale, we'll release from the pose. Hands to the ground, we'll tuck the toes and come back into a child's pose. Please feel free to stay here in child's pose. Option to inhale into plank. Stay in plank or bend the elbows as much as you can with control, coming back to plank and downward dog. From your downward dog, the next time you inhale, you're going to lift the right leg up. Exhale, bring your right foot to the outside of your right hand for lizard's pose. Focus on grounding through the front foot. Lengthen the spine. As you exhale, step your right foot back. Get ready to bring the left foot forward. Inhale, leg up. Exhale with control, step your left foot outside of the hand. Either moving or staying still. As you exhale, step your right foot forward, coming into a squat position, maybe moving side to side. From here, we'll lift the hips, inhale, and as you exhale, straighten the legs, hands to the heart. Inhale, arms extend up, exhale, hands to the heart. And again, inhale, extend the arms up. As you exhale, come back into that squat position, elbows over your knees. From here, step or hop back into a downward dog. Inhale, plank pose. As you exhale, we'll lower all the way to the stomach. Inhaling to cobra. Take your time. As you exhale, we'll release. Tuck the toes, child's pose. Please stay in child's. Otherwise, inhale, plank. Option, adding a push-up, coming back to plank and downward dog. Moving with the breath, always as best you can. As you inhale, right leg comes up. Exhale, right foot outside of your hand, lizards. Exhale, we'll step back, downward dog. Inhale, left leg comes forward, lizard's pose. As you exhale, we'll step your right foot forward. Inhale, hands to your heart, squat. Exhale, as you extend your legs, stand up. Inhale, arms extend up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, arms extend up. Exhale to the squat. Inhale, placing the hands to the ground, step or hop back. Inhale, plank. Exhale to lower to the ground. Inhale, cobra. As you exhale, we release. Tuck the toes, child's pose. Any vinyasa of your choice. Here, I opt to inhale for cow pose. Exhale into a downward dog. One more cycle. As you inhale, the left leg will come up. Your exhalation, bring the left foot forward outside of your left hand. Lizards. Step the left foot back. Inhale, right leg comes forward, lizards. Exhale, step it back. Again, left foot. Inhale, left leg forward, lizards. As you exhale, step your right foot forward for a squat. Inhale, hands to the heart. Exhale, straighten your legs. And as you inhale, we'll extend the arms. Exhale, hands to the heart. As you inhale, we'll take the arms up again. And as you exhale, come back into this frog squat position. Try as best you can to keep your chest in line with your knees and thighs. Take the hands to the ground. And from here, option 1, give a tiny hop back with each foot at a time before coming back into the frog pose. So the hands go down to the ground. Exhale, a tiny step with each foot, trying to keep weight on your hands, or make it more dynamic. Hop back, straight into frog pose. Hands go down. Exhale, hop back, straight back into frog pose. Always keeping the hips the same level and always coming back to frog. Now we go forward. Exhale, hop forward, frog. Exhale, hop. Inhale, frog. Exhale, hop. Inhale, frog. Think about a frog and you're hopping. Be the frog. Your spirit animal for the next few seconds. Keep going forward and back the length of your mat. One more, hopping back. And then hopping forward. If you love those and you want to keep going, do it. Pause and do another cycle. Otherwise, stand up, shake the legs, and we're going to extend the arms up, taking hold of each elbow and each hand. Just stretch over to one side. As you exhale, get ready to switch sides. And take this into a circle. Just start to circle your chest down, rounding your back. When you come back to center, switch the direction of the circle over to the other side and then round the back. Whatever feels nice. And we're going to take a moment here to do 1 minute of single leg balancing. So this is something that I try to do every day. It's just 1 minute of balancing on one foot. Be creative about how you move the other leg. The only focus is to keep your standing butt and hip engaged for support. So we're going to begin on the right foot. Something I like to do is try touching with each hand the knee, coming up, then touching the shin, coming up, and then touching the top of the foot, coming up each time after touching. Once you've done that, just be creative with how you move your left leg. Remember, there are no rules. The focus is just to continue to breathe through the nose and to keep your right butt and hip engaged. Notice if you're tensing the neck and the face, can those relax? And release. Okay, we're going to get ready for the left foot. Focus on pressing evenly through the left foot, engaging your butt and hip, and we'll begin. Maybe tapping your thigh with each hand, the knee with each hand, your shin with each hand. Come up and now maybe tap the knee, coming back to standing after tapping. Tap the shin, coming up to standing after tapping. And tap the top of your foot, coming up to standing after tapping. For the remaining few seconds, just play around. I broke the rules. I hopped. That's not allowed. Try to keep your foot on the ground and don't move the foot. Okay, last about 2 seconds and release. Shake it out if you need to, whatever feels good. And just come to a standing position, extending the arms up as you inhale, exhale as you fold. As you inhale, lift the chest halfway and pause. Exhale, and step back to downward dog. The next time you inhale, we'll extend the right leg up. Exhale, bring your right foot outside of your right hand for lizard's pose. This time the left knee will go down. Leave your left hand slightly out, palms flat or fingertips. Inhale, right arm goes up and points back to the back of your mat. As you exhale, lift your back knee, reach your right arm forward and down as you round your back. Inhale, knee goes down and we twist, open the chest. Exhale, use the strength of your legs to lift your knee and round your back. 2 more with your breath. One more. Back knee goes down. Inhale, open and twist. Exhale, reach your right arm forward and now lengthen your spine. Either your hands can go to your knees or take your arms straight back. Extra spicy, arms come forward. Flying lizard. Active in your feet and legs. From here, we'll come all the way up into a starfish pose, opening the arms wide and the legs wide. As you inhale, we'll take your arms up, and as you exhale, come into Warrior 2. We're going to add something here that focuses on hip stability and on moving dynamically with the breath. From the arms out in this position, exhale, cross the back foot until either your knee connects to your elbow or your foot connects to your right hand. Inhale, step back, Warrior 2. Exhale, kick. Inhale, back. Exhale, kick. Inhale, back. 2 more. Last one, kick. And back to Warrior 2. Just kidding, one more. Now we're back to Warrior 2. As you inhale, we'll take your arms up and add a side bend. Take hold of the right wrist as you open the side. Grounding through the front foot. At the end of your breath, we'll release your hands down to the ground. Please feel free to rest in a downward dog. If you feel okay, option to extend your right foot up. To bend your right knee and gently stack your hips. This can be done on your knees. So the same thing, except that you keep your left knee on the ground, stacking the hips and maybe taking your back foot. So you choose what feels best for you. If you're in downward dog, point the knee up to the ceiling. And the secret here is to keep your hips square. Take your left hand straight out to the side of your mat, or take your left arm back and try to find your back foot. Keep your right shoulder away from the ear, strong, stable. Press evenly through the right hand. As you exhale, we're going to release and come into any variation of side plank on your left side that feels okay for you. Engaging the legs, the glutes. Feel the breath in the sides or in the back. As you exhale, we'll release from this downward dog. Inhale as you come to plank. As you exhale, slowly lower to your stomach. Once you are on your stomach, and you focus on engaging the muscles in the legs, gently engaging the core, and we'll take your hands behind your back, interlacing the fingers. Reach the arms back as you reach forward through the chest. In this pose, the legs, they act as anchor points. They're strong. The feet press into the ground to help you reach through the spine. And keep the back of the neck long, feeling wherever the breath is able to enter. As you exhale, we'll release from the pose. Rest for a moment. And we'll extend the right arm straight out to the side. And we'll take your left foot up and just bring it somewhere behind you onto the ground so we can give a bit of a stretch the inside of your right shoulder, the pec muscle. The left hand can be wherever feels good for you. As you exhale, we'll release and come back onto the stomach. Switching sides, right foot goes back behind you. Taking your left arm however feels nice for you. And at the end of your breath, we'll roll back onto your stomach. Hands to the chest. We'll tuck the toes. And as you exhale, we'll come back onto your knees. And once you are on your hands and knees, focus on pressing firmly through the fingertips and through your knuckles. Distribute the weight evenly through your hands. This movement can be done on your knees or in plank pose. So I recommend bringing the knees down behind your hips, and option 1 is to come onto the fingertips of your left hand and come onto the fingertips of your right hand, keeping your shoulders stable. Option 2, touch the same shoulder with the same hand, controlling the descent back to the ground. If this feels okay, you can try in plank. Tapping the left shoulder with your left hand, release with control. Tapping the right shoulder with your right hand, release with control. Choose what feels best for you today, and we'll cycle through 3 to 4 repetitions. Make sure that the standing arm and shoulder are stable before you take the hand off the ground. Try to minimize movement through the hips and the torso. At the end of the cycle, we'll just rest back into a downward dog and just take your time to walk to the front of your mat, folding forward when you get there. If you like to stretch the wrists, the back of the hands, whatever feels nice for you. And as you inhale, we'll lift the chest halfway, change of scenery. And the next time you inhale, we'll come all the way up to standing. As you exhale, we'll fold forward. Inhale, lift the chest halfway, and as you exhale, we'll step the right foot back. We'll come into a lizard's lunge. Hands inside of your left foot. Right hand out to the side, and as you inhale, we'll open the left arm, coming into a twist. As you exhale, use the strength of your legs to lift your back knee up and round as you reach your left arm forward. Inhale, back knee goes down and we open. Exhale as you round the spine, strong in the legs. 2 more with your breath. At the end of this next exhalation, we're going to reach your left arm forward. Keep that length in your spine, and you can choose to bring your hands to your left hip or arms back. Extra spicy, arms forward, keeping the chest as low as feels okay for you. Breathe with whatever it is that you're feeling. At the end of your breath, we're going to release and come into a starfish pose. So arms and legs are out wide. As you inhale, we'll take your arms up, and exhale, come into warrior 2. We're going to do those dynamic kicks. So think about your right leg crossing across your body and connecting either with your left hand or your left elbow, and try to control going back. Exhale, kick, inhale, back. 3 more. Exhale, kick, and back. Using your breath to help you kick and back. And 1 more, kick, and go back into a warrior 2. As you inhale, we'll bring the arms up. Take hold of your left wrist and lean back to the back of your mat. So you're stretching the left side of your body. Strong in your left heel. Feeling the grounding of that left foot in the ground. As you exhale, we're going to release from this. Please feel free to go into a downward dog, or you can also do this with your right knee on the ground. We're going to lift your left leg up. Option to bend your left knee and stack your hips. From here, keep the weight even in both hands. Keep the hips as they are, and maybe the right hand goes out to the side of your mat. Maybe your right arm reaches back to find your left foot. So just a reminder that keeping the hips stable really helps to maintain the balance in the clasp. The left shoulder stays away from your ear. And as you exhale, we're going to release and come into any variation of side plank on your right side that feels okay for you. Feel free to bring a knee to the ground, or any other variation that allows you to maintain a calm breath. Allow the side of the neck to stay long, feeling the connection to your legs. And as you exhale, we're going to release, coming into a downward dog. Feel free to rest or inhale to plank. Exhale, slowly lower to the ground. Inhale into cobra. As you exhale, we'll release. Make your way back into child's pose. Please stay here. Option to inhale and roll forward into a plank. Pause in plank, or inhale, bend the elbows for a push-up. Exhale back to downward dog. From your downward dog, whenever you exhale, we'll take a few steps to the front of the mat. Step or hop, up to you. And fold forward when you get there. And from here, I'll slowly roll all the way up to standing. Another change of scenery. And we're going to get ready to come into a chair pose with your feet together. From here, take the hands to the heart. And we're going to allow your right knee to move forward a bit so that you can twist from the pelvis all the way up, twisting to the left. If it's okay, take the elbow down to your left thigh. Bring all the weight onto your right foot and slowly begin to slide your left foot up the inside of your right leg, moving slowly as you come all the way up. Leave your right hand on your chest and extend your left arm back behind you. Please stay here, or maybe you extend your left leg. We're going to all open the arms, staying in the twist. Keep that left leg extended if you can. Focus on pressing down through your right heel. And as you exhale, we'll release from this and come up to standing. Exhale, hands to the heart. And fold all the way down. Relax. As you inhale, we'll lift the chest halfway, bring the feet together, come back into chair. When you're ready, we'll take the hands forward and guide them to the heart. This time we allow your left knee to slide forward, and this helps to initiate the twist from the base of the spine all the way up to the upper back and head. Leave your elbow on your right thigh. All of the weight is on your left foot as you slide your right foot up the inside of your leg. Take your time. Slowly begin to extend your right arm back to the back of your mat. Stay here, or maybe you can extend the right leg. From here, we're going to extend both arms out to the sides, open to the chest, extend the right leg only as much as feels possible. As you exhale, release. Inhale, we'll extend the arms. Exhale as you fold all the way down. Relax the legs, let the shoulders, the head be heavy. And the next time we inhale, we'll come back up into chair pose. And as you exhale, let the arms hinge back behind you. Inhale, we'll lift the left knee up with the arms and extend your right leg. Stay here or extend your left leg. I like to think about extending my left leg from the core, from the center of the body. As you exhale, can you control the transition all the way back into a high lunge? So we'll lift your back heel. Inhale as the arms extend up. As you exhale, we're going to take your left elbow towards your right thigh. Try to find a height with your hips that feels okay, and keep that height as you take the arms up again. Inhaling. Exhale, left elbow to the right thigh, the right arm extends back. Inhale to extend again. 2 more. Exhale, left elbow aiming to the thigh, slow, controlled with a breath. Inhale as you extend up. Last one. Exhale, crossing left elbow to right thigh, strong in the legs. As you inhale, release and pivot into starfish pose. From here, we're going to inhale, take the arms up, exhale into Skandasana, left knee bent, and slowly transition to the other side, bending the right knee, extending the left leg. Exhale, transition. Inhale to pause. If possible, can you stay level, stay at the same height as you move through the transition? Feeling the connection of your feet and strength of the legs. The next time that your left knee is bent, we pause. Take your left hand down inside of your left leg and reach the right arm up for a twist. As you exhale, we'll release from this, taking the arms all the way up again. Exhale as you fold. So from here, we're going to just try something just a little bit playful. So we'll start with planting the hands. Option 1, try to put as much weight in your arms as you can and just step in and step out, trying to keep the shoulders stable through the movement. Option 2, a little bit of a hop. Hop in, hop out. Keep the shoulders stable, keep the fingertips and knuckles weighted. Last option is lift the hips, giving a little bit of a higher hop, and then lift the hips as you hop out. So choose what's best for you. Try to use your breath, exhaling in the hop. Inhale as you land. We'll try one more full cycle, so a total of 4 or 5. If you want to do more, feel free to pause and keep going. Think about taking the shoulders over the hips. Shoulders over the hips as you go out as well. And then just relax. Let the shoulders be loose. And the next time that you inhale, we'll lift the chest halfway. As you exhale, we'll pivot to the front of your mat and set your back knee down to the ground for lizard's pose. From here, you can stay up in the pose, taking your right hand to your right knee perhaps, or you can go down onto your left forearm. Either way, option to clasp your back foot, gently taking the heel in towards your body. And you can stay still, or if you feel like your body will appreciate some movement in the pose, just do whatever feels good for you. Breathing gently through the nose. As you exhale, we'll release. And stretching the hips back, we'll release your right knee into a tabletop position and downward dog. For your downward dog, we'll lift the right leg up, bending your knee to stack the hip. As you exhale, we're going to cross your right leg underneath your body for fallen triangle pose. Please feel free to leave your foot on the ground. The left arm extends up, and as you exhale, slowly transition into plank pose on your left side. Any variation that feels okay for you. As you exhale, we're going to release and get ready for a pigeon pose, bringing your right knee down behind your right wrist. And see what feels nice for you. You can keep your hands on the ground for support, or I'm choosing to do the active variation, keeping the hips quite high and trying to press the front and back leg in towards the center, towards each other. And after a few breaths, we'll bring the hips a bit lower to the ground. And then we'll release from the pose by taking your left foot forward. And we'll bring the left foot flat on the ground. Either you can use your hands or without your hands. We're going to bring all the weight onto your left foot. Try to really make sure that you can feel your left glute, your left hip, taking the weight of the body as you lift your right leg for half moon. So do that with assistance of the hands, or you can try this transition without your hands. So leaning forward, push down through the left foot and heel. When you feel stable through the hip, extending your back leg for half moon. And see if you can maintain calm breath through the nose, whatever position you prefer for your arms. And as you exhale, we'll release, taking your right foot down. Inhale, we'll extend the arms up. And as you exhale, we'll come down into a squat position. So we're going to take a few moments to practice crow pose, which we visited before in the previous practices. So please feel free to keep your feet on the ground and work on strengthening the wrists, the shoulders and core. Or you can practice crow pose, staying there for a few breaths. I'm demonstrating crow push-ups, which is really important if you would like to do the transition one day from crow into a tripod headstand, being able to control your descent so we don't put too much weight on your head. So the way we do this is to inhale, let your elbows come away from each other and the knees go out as your chest goes towards the ground. And as you exhale, you draw the elbows in towards each other, engage the core, round the back as the knees squeeze in. So to help you get a bit more support. So try about 2, maximum 5. And we'll release the knees when you're done and take a moment to stretch the shoulders in our camel pose. And so we'll interlace your hands behind your back. Strong in the legs, under the belly. We'll bring the knuckles to press against the lower back and draw the elbows in towards each other as you lift the chest. Just focusing on opening across your chest. Relaxing the neck. And at the end of your breath, we'll release. And just take a moment if you like to relax or stretch the wrists. Pointing the fingertips towards your knees. We'll rock back and forwards. And just switching to the back of the hand. Either the hands pointing inwards, side to side, or the hands pointing towards your knees, in which case you'd move forward and back. Okay, I'm just moving the wrists around a little bit. When you've done that, we'll step back into a downward dog. Inhale, we'll come forward to plank, and as you exhale, lower all the way to the stomach. Bringing the forearms to the ground, we'll come into Sphinx pose. In your Sphinx pose, we'll just start to circle the head and the neck. Doing big circles, keeping the elbows pressing firmly into the ground. We'll do about 3 circles before switching directions. Feel the movement in your upper back and your shoulder blades. When you've done 3 in each direction, we'll come back to center. And slide your hands towards your chest. We'll come back into child's pose. From your child's pose, we'll inhale, come forward, tabletop, and downward dog. From your downward dog, the next time that you exhale, we'll step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, lifting the chest. As you exhale, we'll bend the knees. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to the heart. Connecting again with the breath. We'll bend the knees, and as you inhale, we'll lift your right knee with the arms and extend your left leg. Stay like this or extend your right leg as well. Maybe think about extending your right leg from the butt all the way through the heel. As you exhale, we'll take your right leg slowly all the way back into a crescent lunge. As you inhale, we'll extend the arms. And as you exhale, take the right elbow towards your left knee. Find a height that feels okay for you and try to keep that height with your hips and your knee so nothing moves in your legs. The arms come up as you inhale, and as you exhale, gently twist right knee towards your left thigh. Inhale, extend. Exhale into the twist. Following the breath as best you can, slow and calm. Exhale into the twist. From here, we're going to release into starfish and then into skandasana with the right knee bent, shifting the weight over to the left and then back over to the right. Strong in the legs, try to keep the same height with your hips as you move side to side. One more over to the left. And the next time that you go over to the right, we'll take your right hand down and extend your left arm for a twist. As you exhale, release, open the arms and take the arms all the way up. Exhale into a fold. Just relaxing the head, relaxing the shoulders. We'll take a moment to lift the chest halfway, and we'll come into a twist, twisting to the right. If it's okay for the shoulder, reaching the right arm up. Imagine lots of space in between your shoulder blades, lots of length to the sides of your torso. As you exhale, we'll release and get ready to switch sides. Left arm extends, strong in the legs. As you exhale, we'll release and we'll pivot to the front of your mat, taking your right knee down to the ground for lizard's pose. Either you can leave your left hand on your left knee, or you can take your back foot. So find a position here that feels nice for you. Option to take your right elbow to the ground if it feels nice. Calm breaths, exhalations long, complete. And at the end of your breath, we'll get ready to release. Whenever you exhale, we'll step back, tabletop, and downward dog. Please feel free to rest, or we're going to extend your left leg up. Option to bend your left knee and stack your hips. They're not really stacked, we're just kind of pointing the knee up towards the ceiling. And from here, we'll transition to fallen triangle pose, crossing your left leg underneath your body, right arm to the sky. Imagine extending your leg from the center of your body. As you exhale, we'll release with control any variation of side plank that feels stable for you. Side plank on your right side. Breathing through the nose, keeping the breath calm, we'll release with control and bring your left knee forward for a pigeon pose. Find a comfortable angle for your front knee. And for me on this side, I feel like I wanted to stay with the hips low at first. So you can do that, or go straight into the active version of the pose that we did on the other side. If your hips are low, stay there if you like, or come into the active version, lifting your left hip, drawing the front and back leg in towards each other. As you exhale, we'll release. Bring your right foot forward. We're going to plant your right foot. Up to you. You can use your hands for this transition or extend your arms forward. Bring the weight into your right foot and try to control the transition as you use your right hip and butt to come into half moon. And find a position that feels okay for your arms. I like to not put my hand on the ground because I feel like it puts a bit of pressure on the joint. So I like to kind of work on the strength in this pose by keeping my hand off of the ground and just moving the arms in order to stabilize through the core to keep everything else still. And when you exhale, we'll release from half moon and reach the arms up. Exhale as you fold forward. And from here, we're going to come into a seated position on your mat. And we'll take your hands behind you. Just make sure that the shoulders are away from the ears and that you're pressing evenly through your hands. As you exhale, engage the glutes and lift the hips for a reverse tabletop. Feel the grounding of your feet. Try to keep the gaze forward so the neck is more neutral. And as you exhale, we'll release from that. Hands to the knees will roll all the way down onto your back. If it's comfortable, knees apart, feet together. Just taking a moment, coming back to feeling the breath. I'm going to get ready to bend your knees. And we'll take a few moments to let your knees and hips sway over to the left, and then sway over to the right. I'm just doing this one more time, each side. And then when you're done with that, I'm going to extend the legs out to the sides and see what is best for you. You can take your hands to the inner thighs or the inner calf. If it's not possible, you can bend your knees and do the same thing. Or take your hands to your toes. And just allowing the weight of your arms and hands help to stretch the inside of the thighs. And at the end of your breath, we'll release and just find a comfortable position for Shavasana. We'll close with just a few minutes of mindfulness, meditation on the breath. Resting your awareness on the feeling, the sensation of your breath. In your nostrils, or in your chest or your stomach. And when your mind wanders, it's okay. When you notice, can you try to feel the next inhalation or the next exhalation? Maybe being present for the space of one breath. We close our practice today with an excerpt by Alan Watts, who wrote, "This is the real secret of life, to be completely engrossed in what you are doing in the here and now, and instead of calling it work, realize it is play." We'll be closing the practice with some gratitude towards yourself and your body for everything that it is capable of. You may be seeing how you can integrate aspects of playfulness into your life, into your movement. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope you have a wonderful and present-filled day.